adventures.
Hey guys, welcome to News from Bear Country. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, especially with that group of children and teachers in Canada that I talked about last week that were attacked. I haven't got any updates from that story. If you guys have any, please send them my way. But there's been a few attacks here and there, some interesting stories I got. In Japan, they finally allowed the army to step in the Akita region, and they're lifting some restrictions on rifles so that people can protect their lives. But there was like dozens of attacks just in 1 month. The bears in Japan, they're completely out of control. So I don't know what's going on there, but it seems like wildlife in general is out of control, and people are approaching wild, dangerous animals because they think that there's some kind of nice Disney creature that they can pet. And I'm getting more and more videos sent to me, and it's just amazing. One of the craziest videos I've seen in a while was one that came out this week from Brazil, where a 19-year-old kid lowered himself down into a tiger's pit in a zoo where there was a lioness there, and in about 1 second she went from one side of her big enclosure to the other, waited for him to get close enough, and she just yanked him down. And then you could see him try to get up at one point. She just kept jerking him around, and she killed him in a matter of seconds. So this is what people keep doing. Another video someone sent me this week, I believe it was somewhere around North Carolina, where they're having a lot of bears. This woman got down on her hands and knees, pretty good sized black bear, and tried to feed it. At one point, a woman was trying to pet a black bear. They're treating them like dogs, and getting down and making yourself very small and vulnerable is the worst thing you could do to a black bear. You want to try to scare it off. You want to hold your jacket out if you don't have any weapons and yell, throw rocks, and make yourself look big, not cower down and try to get it to come up to you. Just unbelievable. I could not believe that footage. We've all seen the footage of people coming up to bison in Yellowstone and getting tossed around. That's always kind of funny, I think, just how dumb those people are. It's just amazing. But this week, we also had a guy approach a pack of wolves in Yellowstone. These were good-sized wolves. They were dark-colored, and they were running right at him, and he was like, I don't know what he was doing. He must have lost his mind, but at one point, it looked like he came within 20 yards of one, maybe 20 feet. It was hard to tell the distance. And at one point, he finally kind of, like they were going to come on him. They were going to eat him. He would turn his back and they would kind of start running, and then he'd face them. But at one point, he let off a little bear spray, and then, that they took off after that. But people keep approaching animals, and it just doesn't make any sense. People are going to continue to get hurt. They're going to continue to die. And we've already got more than enough bear attacks happening. Now, people get my messages mixed up. They think that I'm all about pistols as the ultimate bear defense. Absolutely not. You want a 12-gauge shotgun or a 45-70, a hunting rifle, a 338 Win Mag, something like that for close range, especially if it's like a guide's gun with a shorter barrel that's really handy. Iron sights is good, a red dot, a LPVO, a low magnification sight if it's up close. That's what you want. The problem is when you're out hiking and fishing, you're not going to carry a heavy rifle or shotgun. At least I typically don't. If I do, I always ended up setting it down on the bank, and then when a bear approaches me, I don't have anything on me. That's why I've been big on the chest holsters. They're nice for crossing rivers. You've got it right here. Sometimes people are falling back, and they said it's been nice to grab their pistol when it was right there on their chest versus their hip, but the hip draw can be very fast as well. But pistols just make a lot of sense. If you look at ammoland.com, they did a big study, Dean Weingarten, took a whole bunch of cases, and he found overall that pistols did deter bear attacks, even grizzly bears. I was surprised by the calibers. Even 40 and 45 ACP did really well against bears, even brown bears, believe it or not. But some of my favorite pistols of all time, well, the Glock 20 10 millimeter. This is the 20C. It's got ports in it, but I will have a full review of this out in the morning tomorrow. But I'm a big fan of this because of capacity. You got 15+1. They are very reliable. I also like the XDMs. They've got a little bit better trigger, and in my mind, I found them to be just as reliable as the Glocks. The Glocks have a little more aftermarket support, but those XDMs have a little bit better of a grip angle and trigger. I typically shoot those better, but I'm just really stuck on the Glock 20. I'm a big fan. Now, bear spray is a great idea, but I wouldn't take just bear spray. Many times, and I've interviewed guys that said, yeah, the bear spray didn't work. The bear, even if it's charging, it can blow right through it and ignore it. He's still going to eat you. Or the wind could change and you're going to incapacitate yourself and your buddy. And also, don't go alone. I've made the mistake of hunting alone, hiking alone. It's best to go with at least one person if you've got a larger group. That's even better for safety. But have both. Chuck from Alaska Ballistics always has bear spray, but he always has like 3 firearms on him. So a lot of times I won't take the bear spray and I will just have a firearm, because that is what will truly save your life if you are getting charged by a big grizzly, brown bear, or something like that. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for sending in all the stories, logging into my website. I will see you next Friday. It's Chuke, your friend in the field.
My name is Chuke. I like to trade my guns just for fun, but now I have none. Oh, look, get shot by a bear, but I don't care. I got a 10 millimeter. Chuke's Outdoor Adventures. Watch you all die every time.